It's actually my first broadcast, so congratulations to me. Yeah. My name is Palesa Antony, and I'm the provincial coordinator for MLab Limpopo. And yeah, so my role is to unlock the potential digital economy, particularly in the province of Limpopo, build a vibrant tech and innovation ecosystem, and also work with youth. So my main focus obviously is the youth 18 to 35, doing skills development, innovation showcasing, and other things that we do. So just you get to know us better, and as the podcast goes on, I will explain what I do and give you a bit of 101 entrepreneurship advices that I've learned throughout. Disclaimer, um, I don't know a lot of things, but I'll try to give you as much knowledge as I can. Great.
We're gonna start where it all began for you. Could you kindly just give us a brief intro on who Palesa is?
Who's Palesa? A geek, a coder, a techie, an innovator. I think that's how I could define myself. Wow, it all started when I was doing my internship with a startup called Geek Culture. The startup was actually incubated by MLab, and it was 2016. So I was part of the startup. I was doing almost everything, a full stack developer, and I also was a passionate techie, very driven at the time. And it was good for me to actually see how the tech world works. I was so fascinated, I don't want to lie. I remember the first time walking into MLab, and it was just I had a mind-blowing moment, and I knew from then that this is where I want to be, this is what I want to spend my life in. So it was good. I started the gig culture, obviously hackathons, attending tech talks, and just being in the ecosystem, getting all plugged in as a young person, which is something that I think a lot of techies should be plugged in. Surround yourself with people that you want to become. Surround yourself with people that will make you grow in the industry, whichever industry that you are in. And I think that's what I did for me to actually get where I am. And yeah, so my internship was not over, but I managed to get myself in a scholarship to do advanced Java in India. So I obviously then I went to India, did advanced Java there, came back and did my own businesses. Started doing my websites for companies, and I opened my own mini startup, did logos, and yeah, until I applied at the CSIR, and we were junior software developers, particularly in the cybersecurity space. So we did a lot of ethical hacking, and we wrote a lot of papers, research papers. And that's when I also wrote my first research paper, and obviously it was concept proven by creating a project for it. So we created a web defacement tool. So what happens is that it studies So it studies the pattern of any computer, and once there is something that is like, once there is an unusual pattern, then it flags it out. So the research paper was also like that, but it was a collective, of course, and our research paper made it to a journal in the Cyber Conference International. So I actually, and that's when I actually understood that, oh, so you need research to do things, you need research to be innovative, you need research to build products. So that's when I started to understand how much sufficient and important is research before actually doing a product. Yeah, and now I'm at MLab back home, I think. um, and now I am leading the whole ecosystem in this province. It's been challenging, but I think it's worth every moment, and I think I've learned a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Could you kindly just share some knowledge on your first working experience with us? So, yeah, why gig culture? Why gig culture?
I don't know why gig culture. So my first working experience, I don't know why gig culture, but I remember I started knowing gig culture because gig culture came to where I was doing my web development learnership, and they were the ones who were marking our projects. And I don't know, I just fell in love with seeing young people being in charge, knowing what they do, and they gave me quite a positive feedback from my project. And I thought, let me just go and see what's happening. So I got into their website, obviously, and then I checked, and then obviously I went there and asked if I can be part of the whole movement. They call themselves a movement. And yeah, I think gig culture wasn't per se more of a working, it was, but there were no systems in place, and that's what I love. And I think MLab also has that similar culture. So there was no systems in place, as in, policies that you need to be here this time, or you need to. So they understood like it's all about talent and just pushing, and people that are just driven, they do their work. And I think the CSIR, that's when I started to understand, okay, now I'm in a working environment. There's, you need to be at work, you need to report on things, and getting more on the professional level of things. And yeah, I've dreamt of, I always wanted to work for the Scientific Council of Research in this country. And I remember when they called me for, like when they appointed, I couldn't believe it. Like I constantly had to check my emails if it's really true. So that was a beautiful experience. In fact, I would recommend, I think every techie deserves to be in that place. It's a super, super, super cool space. And yeah, I've learned so much more. Like I said, we did awesome stuff. I'll literally go home being so energized and driven because of, we did cool projects like your ethical hacking, projects that you only see them in TV, or, your drones and playing with drones, and, so I think it's a very, very good place for any techie, and I feel very honored to have shared that experience with me. And MLab.
How was MLab? Your first week at MLab. Give us a breakdown of your first week.
My first week at MLab. I don't know. MLab is unique, guys. Well, to begin with, we are a group of very passionate people who are in the tech space. I don't know. It was unbelievable to begin with, because I didn't think I was capable for such. So I was very overwhelmed by the whole things, and I think also the title itself, and, um, I don't know. Yeah, it was just overwhelming. Everything was just overwhelming. But as soon as I did my strategy in place, and I just started getting in the boat and actually sailing, I realized that it's actually a trial and error situation. So everything is, and yeah, I don't know. I've never thought about it that way, but I've got goals for MLab Limpopo. And one of them is that one of the startup should be on a national level, as in it should be well known on a national level. And I think I've also exceeded that goal because one of my startup called Abiri App was selected for a boost up challenge, which is size, and he'll be going to Finland representing the whole country. So I think that was the good news on my side. And seeing the ecosystem growing in this province, I am meeting a lot of young, passionate people who are in the space, and there's a huge potential for the province to grow. I think the welcoming that I'm seeing, and it's really there is potential in this province, in my view. And also the Coding Academy. I would like us to be one of the best coding academy in this province, and whereby whenever you need any skills, there's our Coding Academy. They've got skilled people, and also the Coding Academy people venturing into entrepreneurship. Opening their own startups, using the skills that they've learned and actually putting them into practice. So that's basically what I do, guys, for a living.
Okay. We know you're a mother. So from your side, how does one try to find the right balance between business and being a mother? And how do you go about the whole thing for you?
I think planning your time well. So I do have family time, I do have work time, but I'm happy because I've got a strong supportive system around me, who also understand that I'm work driven, and so I try. It's not easy, but I do pull up. But it's all about discipline and also finding the balance between. So it's tricky, but I think I'm doing a good job.
Now, have you somehow integrated any part of your work life into motherhood?
Sure. Yeah, that's a difficult one, but I've seen with my the nanny, I've got a good relationship with her. So I think the interpersonal skills of my work life, how to deal with people, how to interact with people, and also how to treat people that have worked. So yeah, I think that is that part that I see. It's a different, and I always try to lead by example. And I think also in my position, it's one of those things you try to lead by example. Yes.
Okay. If you had like a wish for your young one, what would that wish be? Just for the young one.
I wish for my son. I always tell people I wouldn't, if he says he doesn't want to be a techie one day, that will be fine. I've learned I would want to encourage him in whatever he does, because I know once there's passion, there's something, the universe does react. And I think my prayer is for him to find passion in it and drive with it. And I think my job is just to nurture that and advise. But I really, it would be nice if he finds talent at a very young age and finds his own passion. And yeah, I would never, it would be cool if he becomes a geek, but hey, no pressure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna bring it more about yourself, just in closing. So, future plans perhaps you would like to share with us.
So this is actually great. So remember, because I've learned to actually write research papers, I still have that culture with me. So I wrote my second research paper for university in London. Apparently it was the best, and they would like me to be that research paper to be part of a chapter on an edited book. So I'm busy with that. I will need to submit 6,000 words by the end of December. And I can't wait. I think that's one of the good projects that I have. I also want to go back to school, uh, do more of analytics, data analytics, more on the analytics side, business intelligence, and all those things. And what else do I want to do? And yeah, and my long-term goal obviously is to do my PhD overseas. But that's a very long-term goal. And what else again? It's just to see MLab growing, and to just have an impact on this province, and and push the ecosystem, and see startups growing, and having more on the financial side, I think on the skill side as well. And yeah, that's all.
Okay. Just okay. In closing, any kind words you'd like to give the young entrepreneur watching this?
Young entrepreneurs, I would like to tell them that the sky is not even the limit. The galaxy is not even the limit. And there are a lot of opportunities, infinity, if I can say so. They just need to position themselves, make sure they're plugged in whatever industry that they want to be. And yeah, let them dream. Everything is possible.
Okay. Thank you for joining us, ma'am, and we hope you have a lovely day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yay.
Bye.